Welcome to Sam Nation, and I am your host, Sam. And this is news of the bizarre, the strange, and the delusional. So gird your loins and prepare to be offended. First up, Dems turn to debarred, I think they mean disbarred, convicted felon as star witness in futile, I say again futile, Kavanaugh fight. Set to testify on Friday in opposition to Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court is John Dean, Weasel, a convicted felon and disbarred lawyer who gained fame for flipping on former President Richard Nixon during Watergate. Weasel. So right away, this tells you a couple of things. He is a weasel, and he has no loyalty. So he will bite the hand that feeds. But we continue. Senate Dems will bring Dean, who served prison time for obstruction of justice, in front of Judiciary Committee on Friday afternoon to speak about abuse of executive power, said Senator Dianne Finkelstein, the committee's top Dem. And when I say Dem, I mean D-I-M, as in not too bright. So this tells you something else. It illustrates the hypocrisy of the left. This guy, obstruction of justice, justice means nothing to him, and he's going to lecture about the abuse of executive power? I don't think that'll go over really well. So it looks like we have filler about his past. Dean moved on from his legal career to a career as a frequent critic of Republicans after being serially sodomized in prison for years. He was a frequent critic of former President W., but then who wasn't? What an asshat. And he also claims that Trump is more dangerous than Nixon. I guess if you're a globalist shill and want to kill off about 93% of the Earth's population, that would be correct. But really, it's all for naught, because Kavanaugh is widely expected to be confirmed to the Supreme Court before the November elections. Godspeed, Justice Kavanaugh. And now we have something not so strange, not so bizarre, but it is fairly delusional. Hemingway, Obama treated press worse than Trump does, but media didn't care. Media doesn't care about a lot of things, where Soetoro is concerned. In a segment on Fox News' special report with Bret Baier on Friday night, Federalist senior editor Molly Hemingway said former President Soetoro took more punitive actions against the media during his tenure in office than Donald Trump has as president. Well, when you consider Soetoro weaponized the full might of the intelligence community against reporters, that rings true. In a speech on Friday, Soetoro said while he complained about Fox News as president, he never tried to shut them down or call them the enemy of the people. Not in public, but I'm sure in private. And he certainly did try to shut them down by weaponizing the intelligence community against them. Charles Lane. Wait, that's wrong. Charles Lyer of the Washington Post said that, as president, Soetoro treated members of the media fairly and championed free speech, as long as their political narratives agreed. A description Hemingway disputed, though not the part about the narrative. This is not my recollection of the past 8 years under Soetoro, Hemingway said. He blamed many bad things in the country on people watching Fox News. It's always the people with these socialists, isn't it? He claimed every bar in the country why Democrats were hurt. Now I've got to read this one just because of the tortured grammar. He's one of the worst presidents when it comes to actual actions, when it comes to the media. Or better said, he's a ginormous asshole when it comes to actual actions to the media. More succinct, to the point. And now the crux of it, and this seems to be endemic. with the legacy media, and the media didn't have the same reaction to it that they do to the Trump administration. And that seems to be about everything. And here we have a little slice of weirdness. Moonves out at CBS after new sexual misconduct claims. Settlement package withheld. Well, good. CBS Corp CEO Les Moonves will be stepping down within the next 24 hours after 6 additional women have come forward with sexual assault and harassment claims against the executive, making 12 accusers in total, according to Reuters. Word of Moonves' ouster comes hours after the New Yorker published a second expose by Ronan Farrow, the journalist who took down Harvey Casting Couch Weinstein. The new allegations from the 80s and through the early 2000s include claims that Moonves forced them to perform oral sex on him, that he exposed himself to them without their consent, and that he used physical violence and intimidation against them, according to the New Yorker. Now, just a note here. You've got to be incredibly stupid to put the tender flesh of your throbbing hard penis into the mouth containing sharp teeth of your victim. This man must be highly educated with several PhDs to be that stupid. Anyway, one of the women with allegations against Moonves, a veteran television executive named Phyllis Golden Gottlieb. If that's not a name meant for porn, I don't know what is. That conjures up images of triple penetration. But I digress. Told me that she filed a criminal complaint late last year with the Los Angeles Police Department accusing Moonves of physically restraining her and forcing her to perform oral sex on him, and exposing himself to her and violently throwing her up against the wall in later incidents. That Les, he's a ladies' man. He's suave and a boner. But Les likes the rough stuff, huh? Jessica Pallingston. Come on, Jess. Could you not get a more apropos name for this piece? Phyllis Golden Gottlieb really put her full effort behind it. But anyway, a writer alleges that Moonves coerced her into performing oral sex on him when she worked as his temporary assistant in the 90s, and that, after she repelled subsequent sexual advances, he became hostile at one point, calling her a cunt. Moonves grabbed my head and took it all the way down onto his penis and pushed his penis into my mouth, she said. He held her head in place forcibly. He came very quickly, she recalled. And that's probably the crux of the whole situation. He has pent-up frustration from being a Captain Quicksquirt. Then he said, I want you to suck my woo. She recalled mumbling, okay, and Moonves grabbing her head and forcing it into his penis. He kept his clothes on. He had Calvin Klein underpants. He pushed my head down hard, she said. It was very violent, very aggressive. That's a neat trick. Do the clothes? Anyway, I don't need to read any more of this to know what should happen to this asshole. He needs to be thrown into the most violent prison in New York and labeled as a pedophile racist. That way the gangs can all make good use of him, sodomizing him hourly. You could even sell it on pay-per-view and give free feeds to all of these women. I think it would be therapeutic. And in our last story, I have a special treat for you. Pro-abortion rights activist sending coat hangers to GOP senator. Report.
No wire hangers! What's wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
Pro-abortion rights activists are reportedly sending Republican Senator Susan Collins, Maine, wire coat hangers in the mail in an effort to press her to vote against any Supreme Court nominees who would overturn Roe v. Wade. And don't you really mean Judge Kavanaugh? I think you do. You're just too much of a gutless slimeball to say so. The Cut reported Monday that advocates are sending Collins wire coat hangers as a graphic reminder, and damn, isn't it, of some of the steps historically taken when access to abortion has been restricted. Now, I don't have to read any more. Let me tell you what will happen if Roe v. Wade is overturned. The issue will go back to the states, and the states will decide. The blue states will keep on slaughtering babies by the hundreds of thousands as they do now. But this will keep the federal government from force-fucking baby slaughter on those states who do not wish to participate. And that is all. Links for all of our articles are provided below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe to the channel. And help me realize my dream of lounging around in my underwear, eating the finest foods, making videos for your entertainment daily. Help me realize the dream and live the dream. And until next video, have an excruciatingly pleasant week.